Hi everyone, we're going to take a look at Dash and see what progress it's been making on its journey towards this support, which is essentially quite significant support. You can see this is this is 2022, long since been very good support for the price action as well as good resistance, and we are now heading quite close into our ideal retracement zone. So let's jump in. This is a 6-hour chart, and we were last here at this level essentially on the 30th of October. We had a nice strong run up. We've been in a downtrend, a couple of attempts to break out of this diagonal resistance line, and once we broke out we just kind of rolled over because the market weather, the market conditions with Bitcoin and so forth and the rest of the world economy weren't that strong, and therefore we've retraced back into this lower zone here. Now prior to this weekend we were essentially in this little range here above our support range here, and but we have since broken lower. Now, of course, one of the plays we were looking at, one of the setups we were looking at was to buy the breakout of this zone and then enter on the retest and then look to head up from here. But we haven't had any bullish confirmation yet, so this setup has yet to play out. But this one, where we're looking for essentially a support entry at around $40, that is now in play. So ultimately, we want to have confirmation still, even though we're entering support, because we know the market is a little bit bearish of sorts, or a little bit hesitant, especially because we've got some data points out of the United States this week. So in order to be able to get bullish confirmation as well as benefit from being in this ideal retracement zone, we need to draw a little pattern and see if there is one. So let's just zoom in. So here we go. There we go. Just change that to yellow. Here we go. Let's just put this across. So we do have, this is a 6-hour chart, so we do have a nice descending channel of sorts. Now, if you're not quite sure whether to come in where we are now, which is around just above 40, as you can see, we had a bounce point from here, or then we had a little bit of a lower retrace, even a dip with a wick down to this area, which is closer to around 39, 38. Well, this is very straightforward. You watch the price action continue in this channel, and then when it breaks out, you look to enter as close to support as possible, something like this. So maybe we continue down today, then we get maybe a little bit of a bounce from here, and then we come in, and then you're looking essentially to come in at this zone on the flip side. You then have the benefit of bullish confirmation because we've had breakout of this pattern, and then you look to come in at around support. Now that doesn't guarantee that it's not going to do what it just did here, which is essentially to break out and then roll over, but at the very least you're entering with some bullish confirmation, which means other buyers are going to be looking, of course. Now the issue, of course, with this area, we broke out in the middle of no man's land, and therefore it's very difficult for some buyers to come up in this area when they know that support is below us at lower price points. So we are approaching this area, and this is a good little pattern, a descending channel to look to trade off. So we don't need to enter until we break above, because obviously if it continues down from here and rolls over, then we're protected, we haven't entered a trade. But then if we do, of course, get a move above this channel, out of this channel with probabilities, because it's a descending channel, 70 to 80% chance of a break to the upside, then we look to come in flush with support, maybe potentially with a double bottom, and then we ride it up from there. We're not going to wait for too much in terms of taking profits. We don't want to be too liberal with it, so a little bit conservative, maybe coming in at the previous, looking to take profits at the previous swing high. But that's Dash.